But also I want to help newer people get into the community and maybe have an easier time that I had.
Yeah. Have you been writing stuff? I don't know. I don't write, so.
Yes, but it's mostly technical content, right? Like how to do DevOps. And then I recently added like a snippet section when I just post like minimal context, and this is the what I did to solve it. And yeah, like less than 300 words on those, and then some longer form post. It was what I originally used to write, but now I'm starting to split them, and the fact that we have the fact that you have that I add these two difference is it makes a lot of sense. And now I added in the last month like 8 snippets that otherwise I wouldn't have any of them as part of the.
This is great. Yeah. This is really great. I showed you Josh Bruncho, right? Josh Bruncho. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh, today I learned. Yeah, I've seen some of those.
He's done this for 5 years.
Oh wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
I mean, it's really great, even if nobody else uses it. But like,
oh yeah,
you will remember that you did one of these, and you can.
I was doing an interview the other day, and the first part of the interview was configuring the SSH key, and when you copy the SSH key, you have to change the permission. Otherwise, you are not able to use the SSH key. And I already had a snippet for that. So I mentioned that as part of the interview. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, good.
Yeah, it's really good. But it's even better if like you can do. Let's see, right? Okay, let's copy this.
Okay.
And then let's put it to Google. Okay, you're not on Google
yet,
but someday you will show up on Google, and then you can just Google your own title.
Oh yeah.
At least, so yeah, I do this a lot. I use Google as my own search tool. You probably should be here. If you're not here, then you're not indexing.
Well, maybe not yet.
Yeah. Oh well. No, this is really cool.
Maybe I have to add something. I don't know.
Anyway, no, yeah, it sounds like you're on your way. I think the other thing that you should be aware of is to engage with other people, right, on stuff that they want. So here you have essays, you have snippets. Have a conversation with someone else on like something that they're interested in, because this is very you focused. And
that is true. Yeah.
It's hard to guarantee that anyone will be interested, but if you pick up what others put down, then
that's a good advice. That's something that I'm trying to think about. Like,
like this one, the DigitalOcean people are very keen on the app platform. So the way that I would research this is just kind of look at whoever's talking about. Oh, you haven't tweeted this. But Chris, did I tag you on Chris Sevilla?
No, I don't think so.
So this guy works at DigitalOcean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and if you have any DigitalOcean content, you should tweet about it and tag him, because he'll help you share it.
Okay. Cool.
This is him. Chris Sev, something like that. No.
Let me open another.
Chris Sev. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he works at DigitalOcean. He'll share your stuff.
He's a DevRel. Okay.
DevRel, yeah. Yeah, man.
Cool.
And he's in the Discord anyway, so you can just chat with him.
Okay, yeah. We'll probably chat with him first. I don't know. I'm not too. I don't know. I don't feel too comfortable like tagging people if I haven't had any previous interaction with them.
It's okay. It's his job. Literally, he's getting paid to do this.
Well, yeah, that is also true. Yeah.
Be shameless about that. Like, at least for DevRel, you can be very shameless.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, I'll stop with the lecture, but I thought it was very cool. I always like to see what people are active on, and you know what it is that you're building. Oh, hang on. How do I kill the screen sharing? I'll stop screen sharing. What it is you're building authority, right? You're trying to
Yeah.
as you grow as a DevOps engineer, you're putting out all your knowledge, and you're building your network and growing your authority while you build your skills. And it's after you do this for a few months, a couple years, you'll probably cover basically a lot of the job, and and you have a very big portfolio of just like things that people that you have that's very useful, but also probably people will know of you, and try to hire you as well. So I think this is just how it starts. Like I always love seeing people inspired.
And also, I also want to have some ideas of how to improve my portfolio website. I also want to link and highlight like my main GitHub projects. I'm also pretty active in GitHub, and that takes away time from me writing. And I want to leverage that as part of my portfolio, right? Like at least putting some links and like my contribution somewhat. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, is it in your about page? That's a very simple one for the about page.
Yeah, no, the about page is pretty simple. But in the main page, I do link to my GitHub.
Okay.
But I'm not showcasing anything from my GitHub profile.
Yeah, probably needs a bit more work on there, but it's
fine. But it takes time, right? Like if I focus on upgrading my portfolio, that's time away that I'm not writing, or time away that I'm not working on the open source code that I'm interested, right? So it's finding the balance. And also,
and the other thing is to
go ahead.
The other thing is to try to double dip on the things that you're already doing, right? So if let's say you did a blog post on something on AppFile for a DigitalOcean app platform, try to join like a live stream with Chris, or do a podcast or do a meetup talk on the same content that you already did. So that's one way to make your work have more mileage. Same thing for your GitHub contributions, right? You do that, you do some work. Anything interesting, you tweet. Anything if the tweet has some traction, you develop it to a blog post. And the blog post has some traction, you develop it to a talk. That kind of thing. Like just build and build and build.
And the next one is easier because you're validated. You're not starting from scratch. You're leveraging and reusing previous content and knowledge. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, this is an idea that they call the Tiago Forte calls start from abundance, which is like every time you start a project, a lot of people it tires people out because they start from a blank sheet of paper. But what if you already have pieces that you've been working on for months and even years? You can just pull together and you go like, okay, this is like 80% of it, and now you just have to rearrange and you fill in the rest, right? So
that's something that I'm looking at already. I got into that not directly through Thiago. I found out through David Perel, but they are closely related, right? Yeah, they work together. So
basically brothers. Oh, sorry, your voice is gone. I don't know what happened. Your voice is completely gone. I can't hear you right now. I can't. Your voice cut out completely. Oh no, what happened? Hang on. Okay, can you say something? Oh. No. I think it's yours. I think it's on your side. Because I tried to switch the audio and it didn't work.
What about now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe I think my headphones got confused for some reason. So technology.
What were we talking about? I forgot already.
No, that I got exposed to those ideas through David Perel.
Yeah.
And I dove a little bit more into Thiago Forte and like building a second brain. So yeah, like the last two posts the last two essays that I wrote, that I did that. I didn't read them from scratch. Like I collect notes and then like lead them together, and it's way easier to definitely than to start from scratch. Yeah.
I think I mean, at least for me, my goal is to publish a blog post every week. I think that's very doable, and actually, you can probably do two a week if you really have your content together and you set some time to write, and you don't expect too much. I think for me, like sometimes, especially after I have a big success blog post, then for me, like the next one is like the expectations are very high, and then I don't want to publish it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I need to you need to be okay, like basically sucking, like for like actually the mental rule I have now is that all this work, you put in all this work, and maybe, at least for me so far, one blog post a year becomes really lasting and consequential. But you have to you can't just like say like I will only publish one great blog post a year. Sometimes you don't know in advance.
Yeah, that is true.
And you just have to work at it. But the result is that the work that I did last year, I'm booking so many talks about it. People hearing about me for the first time because of it. It's really compounding. But I didn't know that when I wrote it. Literally, so the blog post is called The Third Age of JavaScript. And I wrote that after I did a run, and I was like, hey, I think I see a trend. So I wrote about it, and that just randomly took off. But the 50 other blog posts that I wrote didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And you have to be okay with that.
Yeah, like even sometimes the work that you feel the most proud of doesn't resonate with people. So
no one cares.
Yeah, I know.
It's okay, no, because then what you do, right? You take the work that you are super interested in but other people are not, and you bundle that and you call it a book. Because like, if I wrote a blog post about ethics, maybe not that many people will be interested, but like, again, if I just put it in together with a bundle of other things, like people might actually read that.
Yeah.
I think the format that people experience things in really affects the message that can come across.
Yeah, definitely. No, I totally agree with that. And just, circling back to like all this learning in public and building authority. One of the reasons that I'm focusing on that is like, it's also with all this trend of moving to remote and like companies like expanding the pool, both like you get more offers, but then like company have much more options. Like I want to be, how to say, like I want to insulate myself from the downside of that, right? Like I want to be someone that a company will say, yeah, it doesn't matter the price or like how much he demands. Like we're gonna go with him rather than with someone that it requires less compensation, right?
Yeah, and the only way to do that is to be an authority in the field. And also sometimes you should be a known quantity in the sense that, like, for example, when I interviewed at AWS, my boss told me that he was going to vote yes already even before I interviewed, because we've known each other for 2 years. Like, and he see me on Twitter every day. Like, there's nothing to hide.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, it's great. It's such a different feeling from the normal process of interviewing, where like you have to prove yourself within a 30-minute interview or you're fucked. Like, so you're definitely, I mean, I agree with you on that. I'm just trying to emphasize, like, sometimes it's just a relationship that's good enough. Like, people know you for a long time, and they see the quality of your work. You don't have to be like the world's #1 expert on something.
And it's also like, my goal is not like becoming the #1 expert, because like there is a diminishing return on investments. Like if you want to become the #1, then it has to be that you cannot do anything else. And I have other hobbies and other things that I want to do in life, right? But I want to be good enough than like, I don't know, maybe a 95 percentile or something like that. That I'm
exactly.
I want to be good and be safe, and that I'm confident on my positions.
You not only have to be dedicated, you also have to be lucky and early, and very well connected. So there's a lot of things in the favor. But I do try to encourage people. So the least appreciated section of the book is the strategy section. And I think that's
That's
actually
the one that I'm finishing now. Strategic awareness. That's the one that I just finished. Yeah, it was pretty
Yeah.
good.
You. I think that developers should really think about themselves that way. You know, you're not. A lot of people like they'll learn some technology and then they'll get their job and then they kind of sit there. But technology is a moving target, and the rewards to betting big on something strategically important and growing your career together with that is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the part that I was already like starting to noticing. With I don't know Charity Mayors and Kelsey Hightower and the likes that I'm already follow them, and I've been looking through their career progress and like
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Yeah, Charity especially, you know, she says she credited her entire success to betting on MongoDB early, and now she doesn't do any MongoDB stuff. But like,
yeah, yeah, she people like 180%. Like now she does observability, and it's like okay, well, yeah, no, good for her, right? Like she did good.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I think so you probably saw it in the book, but like Kelsey as well, right? Kelsey did not create Kubernetes, but he just went really hardcore into it way earlier than other people, and he has a gift for speaking, so he really works hard at that as well.
That's also part like something that also I'm starting to think about, especially with English as a second language. That I think is something that I need probably to focus more. Like
you're fine.
I mean, yeah, I'm fine, but in terms of storytelling and like being public speaking, like
yeah,
it's not my native language, so I need to probably to focus on at least do some training on that at some point. But yeah,
I think you're fine. So sometimes if you speak in a foreign accent, and you like know your stuff really well, it actually comes across as really cool. Like so the two examples that come to mind is Guillermo Rauch, who is the founder of Vercel, and then Matteo Collina, who's on the Node core team and creator of Fastify.js, and he's Italian and he's very Italian. But like every time he talks, people take notice because he stands out in that way. So you don't have to. You can actually even make that part of your brand if it fits some kind of story that you're telling, right? Like, hey, like I don't see things the way that everyone else sees, and I have a special take from my background, whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Do you speak another language?
Chinese.
Okay. And so yeah, that's what
English is my main.
Okay.
And I speak a bit of Spanish. I actually spent a couple months in Havana.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
Spring break.
But so yeah, like that. I ask you that because that will help me with the following question. So, do you segment your content at some point between English and Chinese?
No, I only do English. I mean,
okay.
I have been invited to speak at JavaScript JSConf China, but I didn't go because I was too busy. I mean, China's huge, and I could definitely go down that path. I don't know. I'm more comfortable in English now.
To be honest, that's also happened to me. Like it's easier for me to write technical content now in English than in Spanish. I never did it in Spanish, and even in my bachelor in Cuba, like the majority of the papers and all the books and everything was in English for the career, right? But that's something that I think from time to time, like how if I should dedicate some time to like cultivate like my online presence in Spanish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we had this conversation with some other people in the community before, and what we landed on was essentially like, what do you want to spend your work hours doing? Because the thing that you put out, it's the trade-offs are obvious, right? English is a very big pond, and you're a small fish, and then Spanish is a smaller pond, but still very big. Spanish is a smaller pond, and you could be a big fish in the Spanish world. But at the end of the day, if you like pivot just for that reason, and then you're like, doing a lot of Spanish content, then you'll get Spanish work. Is that what you want to do? that really ultimately is the
Yeah,
crux
that
of
is
it,
true.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's the goal that you want to come out of it.
yeah. Yeah.
And there's a lot of very good Spanish work, like all these all the companies that at least in the US. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
about Canada.
No, yeah.
Canada
No,
probably not.
Canada, no, in Canada, no. US is like Spanish has a bigger presence in US. Like
Yeah, for sure.
by
Anyway,
now,
so
by now, just Spanish. United States is by now the second country in number of Spanish spoken person. So
yeah, and
it's huge.
it's gonna grow. It's still growing very quickly.
Yeah.
So what I would say for that is that because you're so Spanish will always be for the rest of your life. It will be your first language. What I would say is that you can establish you can work, do your main content in English, but anytime there's a podcast or some community event that's in Spanish, you can just show up and then repeat everything that you said in English in Spanish, because translating means nothing to you, right? You can do it.
Yeah. No, yeah. No, that's a good one.
Yeah. And so, like, to me, that will give your best of the best of Rene's content to the Spanish speaking world, and that's pretty good. Another thing that you can do is essentially encourage Spanish speaking translations and versions. Like every project out there always needs like a international internationalization translation. And you can lead that as a way to get into the core team and then pivot from there. So the Vue core team in the JavaScript land is a particularly an international team, and I think that would be a good way for them because they're very open to it. I'm not sure about other projects, other open source projects, but there's always some way.
No, that's a good idea. Sorry.
Yeah. No worries. I mean, it's just really cool to see that you're so intentional about your career, and I want to encourage more people to do this. I'm not sure that I'm doing a good job of like getting my message out there, but I'm very happy with the people that we already have, and I'm not sure I can. If I did like 10 times the amount of this, I'm sure we'll have a much bigger community, but then it will also be a full-time job.
Oh, like,
I feel like I need to still be a developer, and not a not a full-time influencer.
What do you plan to? Where do you want to take the coding career community? Where do you see
build it over time? Build it over multiple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas, or where do you want to take it?
No.
No, that's a totally fair answer, definitely.
I think it would be nice. So I think one of the reasons I'm not rushing to make this like the number one place on earth to discuss tech career stuff is because my career hasn't been that long yet. I think I'm willing to be patient and say like, okay, this will grow together with me, and in 10 years we will have a 10-year history of doing coding career stuff. So I'm willing to do this longer than anyone else. That's the that's the main thing.
And that probably eliminates like 80% of the competition, right?
Yeah, a lot of people like I think they'll write a book and then it's like a one-off thing, and then they will do other stuff. Whereas I'm much more willing to make one thing and then just keep refining it, keep working on it. Hopefully people stick around and then become successful in their own careers, and then that will feed the next generation of people who are inspired to join. And then to me that's beautiful.
I'm thinking about gifting one of the book and then the access to a community to a friend.
Ooh.
So they can leverage the learning from the book and then get exposed to the community.
Oh, that's very nice. It's I mean, let me know if I can help in any way, or but that's I should make it easier. Basically, I did not design for any gifting, but I've sold a few gifts. I did my first company-wide sale, 100 copies.
Oh,
to the whole
congratulations!
Pretty interesting. They also, they're also getting a talk out of me, so
Okay.
it's like a paid talk. But it was pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know, because one of the ideas for the community specifically, I'm selling that in the book, so it doesn't matter. But the community specifically is to have a place to talk career stuff that is not your coworkers and that is not your friends, because sometimes your friends don't, your non-tech friends cannot relate to the problems that you have. And you cannot discuss career stuff with your coworkers, right? Because there's your peers. So it's like a third place, a third group that that you can share your frustrations or share your questions with, and hopefully get some response. So this will be broken. So this will be broken if a whole company joins together. That's what I'm trying to avoid. Because otherwise it'll just be their internal Slack or something.
No, but that is an excellent point, because for me, like my closest friends, the majority of them are not in tech, and the two that are on tech, like they are less advanced on their career.
Yeah.
So mostly when we talk about in terms of career development, I'm the one giving them advice.
Yeah.
And I cannot get too much advice from them. So it's I have to go outside and look in different communities, right?
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. I mean, so I've considered doing some growth hacks. I've considered opening up the community to be a free tier, so there will be bigger. But I like it. I like it being more quiet. I like people who are more serious, and I find that people who like yourself, you're very serious, and so I'm more willing to follow your story, help you out, connect you with my friends, because you have passed through quite a bit of filtering to get to this stage, and that's really all I want, really. I think more is not more, essentially. Like, people always want more, and I think that ruins things sometimes.
Yeah, you want quality, you want quantity.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I just want to say thank you very much for the time. It's like I just got a free chat out of you. Nobody else is showing up, so
that's what it is. I do this. In fact, I should probably do more of it. I've been thinking about doing more sessions, because when I did this, I was like, I don't know if I can handle once a month, and I think I can. I really enjoy this. I really love chatting, and I mean, and it's a nice way to get to know you, right? Like, now whenever we chat on Circle or on Discord, like, I know a little bit more about what you want to do.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna start exploring the Discord to see what are we doing there. Yeah.
Oh, and also, if you ever want to, like, write up anything that you learn, feel free. Just quote from the book for your blog or whatever.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, thank you very much.
Happy to spread your blog through that as well, right? Because then you're picking up what I put down, which is a guaranteed response from me, right? Like, this is how it works. It really is how it works. And then you just do that with everybody that you want to learn from.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I have to drop off, but thank you very much for the time, man. Nice chat. I'm probably gonna join the next one as well.
Okay. All right. Well, see you there.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.